Hey guys, welcome to this special Team Fit Life call. I have one of our latest Emeralds and someone who's lost over 20 pounds that is in your family with Team Fit Life coming to us for this particular team call. She's done so much recently, but I've asked her to come and just tell a bit of her story. She's a mom of five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 girls and 1 boy, and the boy's the baby. And just a legit, real life mom that figured, maybe I can do this. And then after some time, she started realizing, you know what? I need to put it in a different gear. And it started to change so many things for her. And I've just asked her to come and talk to us a little bit about herself, and then a little bit about what she personally kind of decided, and then walk into a little bit about how she's now working the business and growing. So I'll be quiet. Natalie, welcome. Come on in and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you for inviting me. Like you said, I'm a mom of 5 and do that full time. I became a coach about 1.5 years, almost 2 years ago.
Wow.
That doesn't even seem
possible.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And when I signed up, I was like, okay, I know Beachbody is great. Beachbody the workouts have been part of my life for about 8 years, actually.
Wow.
But
okay.
2 years for sure, almost in November. So anyway, I guess it was in December. So I work out with a friend, and then we have another friend that has joined us. And I've realized that working out with others and doing these workouts is a lot easier and a lot more inspiring with one another versus trying to do it all by myself, because we aren't created to be alone. And that set us up for what 2020 had to bring us. And I could have done one of two things with everything that's been going on. I could have either decided to go, woe is me, we're stuck at home and eating all of my feelings, because that's actually how I am. I'm an eater. Or rise to the occasion and stand out as God has called us to do and not fit in. So I guess about 1 year ago, I really started listening to podcasts and becoming almost like a geek when it comes to food. I've always worked out, but the food has not been lined up with the fitness. And learning what is in our food and realizing that abs really are made in the kitchen.
Right.
And I used to put limiting beliefs on myself, saying, oh, you can't do that. You have had 5 kids. You're not like that person. You're not like that. And I would squish myself down. So that epiphany came in December, and it was like God almost was setting me up for what was to come this year. And it's just been, I've always wanted to help other women. And the only way I could do that is to put myself out there and to be vulnerable and to share and let others know that they're not alone, that we all are on a journey, and they look different, but at the same time, they're very much the same.
Very much.
So
I think that's awesome. And so you signed up because you wanted like more, and you're doing it anyway, might as well get a discount, like Connected. But when December happened, it was kind of a pivotal point. Not only do you have this at your access, but you're feeling like, I need to get legit with this. I need to get full focus, which means it can't just be working out. It can't just be, halfway. It's got to be always. So what did you, what were some of the things you researched that kind of made you go, okay, I can do this. I'm not going to die and starve, and I'm not going to lose all my happy because I can't eat what I want. What was that? What'd you find, or what worked for you?
Well, Sprouts is my best friend, and I am a salty girl. And instead of saying, I can't have this, I've changed it sounds silly, but I changed the way I talk to myself and said, you know what? There's other things out there that are even better, And staying online with Shakeology has
Mhm.
actually helped with
Yep.
like make me crave the
Healthier
actual
food.
good stuff that's
Yeah.
in the Shakeology.
Mhm.
So I it started with that.
Got it. Well, I always agree with Shakeology. Even if people are like, I don't like how it tastes, I'm like, you need to just give it some time and
Yes.
find a way you like it. Try all the things, all the flavors, because once that becomes commonplace, Shakeology becomes common, you start to crave junk less. You do. You start
Yes.
to crave healthier things. You like all of the stuff flushes out the way it should.
Yeah.
And so we're not like lethargic because of that. So, oh yeah, I could talk about that all day, but okay, cool. So then you started doing that kind of at the beginning of the year. December was like your pivotal point. And then what have you done from then till now?
Goodness. Showed
Like
up
tell us
every
about, well, first of all, tell us about you, your weight loss, and kind of like how your day looks now.
So my day now, the first thing I start off with is working out. I get
Yep.
my workout finished, and it sets the tone for the day. It now I crave it. Like I wake up. I used to be a snoozer. Like I'm gonna
Right.
hit snooze at least 3 or 4 times. I maybe do it once now. So I long for that. I don't miss, and because each day is passing regardless. If
Regardless,
I
right.
choose to work out or not. So I start
Mhm.
with that, and then I fast. I do the
Okay.
intermittent fasting,
Mhm.
and I used to say, "Oh, I can't do that. I'll get hangry." Well, I haven't been hangry in a very long time because my body's getting to use the fuel that it's given,
Right.
and it's being fueled the way we were created to be fueled.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
and then
So go.
I'll eat around in between 11:30 and 12:30,
Yep.
and I eat good stuff. Fresh, happy eggs is what I like to call it. I'll start off with something like that in my Shakeology, or if I know that we're doing dessert, I'll save my Shakeology for later, and that's my dessert, my treat, so to speak. So, and then I usually close it off at about 7 with my dinner.
That's
So,
awesome. So have you had to pray about those nights? Because to me, that's always the hardest part,
oh
the
yes,
nights, especially as
yes.
a mom, the nights.
Yes. Well, like that 4 to 6 time frame, that is when I used to like face plant. Yes, I would want to eat
Totally.
all the stuff.
Mhm.
And it was nothing that I really even wanted. It was mindless eating at
Yeah.
that. So to be more intentional, that was something else to backtrack to in December. Instead of making that New Year's resolution, it was a word to be intentional, and not a word, an action
Sure.
to be intentional.
Yeah, totally. Okay,
So,
cool. So then you've kind of like started refocusing, making a plan of what you're going to eat every day. What workout programs have you done since January?
oh goodness, 10 rounds. I've done a hybrid of Shaun T workouts. That was 60 days, I believe. And that right there is what kicked it into high gear for me, because
Awesome.
usually I'll start a program and then something will happen,
Mm-hmm.
and this, I said I was going to do it, and I did it. So it was 10 rounds, the Shaun T hybrid, and then lift 4.
Love Lift 4. What are you doing currently?
Currently, never say never, 80-day obsession.
Oh yeah,
And I'm just completed day 36, and
that
I
is
love
awesome.
it. Love
Okay,
it.
so then since January, let's get down to the numbers. How much have you lost?
A little over 20 pounds. Or as my
That
son would say, almost 70, right, Mom?
Well, I love what he said, because I had a son that believed I was 27 for years and years and years, and so I just said, "All right." But what I think also everyone wants to know is that you are a very small person,
Yes,
and
I'm
you know what I mean.
5'3".
And 20 pounds is a lot, but
It is.
you are. If you look at your photos, I mean, you look so healthy, and you like have you. I think you've always had muscle, but now you see it, and you see how strong you are, and I love that. So let's talk about, like, just real quickly before we talk to you about your girls and then you getting to Emerald and a little bit more about the business. Tell me, What about like inches? How do you feel nowadays? Like how differently can you compare this year to last year?
You know, it almost brings me to like tears because I didn't realize it
Mhm.
until looking. Like, I appreciate Facebook and Facebook memories
Oh
for
my
this
gosh,
reason.
yes.
I did
Yes.
not realize how inflamed
Yes. Oh my
and
gosh.
overweight I was. An inflammatory diet versus an
Yes.
anti-inflammatory is night and day. So,
Huge.
like this necklace I have on right here, I don't know if you can see it. It used to be like this on me. I wouldn't wear it because it was so tight on my neck. I wish I would have
Really?
measured my neck.
Yeah.
Boots, I love boots, and my cowboy boots, my legs wiggle in there, and I can zip them up. I can zip up my other boots as well. It's things like that that you don't realize
Yeah.
that is a non-scale victory.
Hmm. How do you feel? Do you have more energy? Do you sleep better? Like that kind of thing.
Definitely more energy, and the sleep, I sleep through the night. I don't wake up. I get great solid sleep, and that is so important, especially for us moms,
Yeah.
and especially right now.
Absolutely. Okay. That is awesome. And I know that we're going to share with people some of the things that you've done, a little bit more of takeaway so they can go, okay, I can do this. It just needs to look like, my version of this. But
Mhm.
when did you start inviting your friends? Because you have like 2 to 3 or 4 ladies come and work out with you most days.
Yes.
Okay. How did that go about? Like, how'd you get the guts to ask or to invite?
To get out of my own head. You know what? If they say no, it's not their time,
Right?
and not to write their story for them.
Yes. Girl, that's good.
So
Yeah.
I used to be very guilty of that, is to try
Yep.
to just answer it for them and not even
Hmm.
give the opportunity, and to be bold because it's something that I'm very passionate about
Yep.
and that I know others would benefit from it. And
Hmm.
there's some people that would feel great and comfortable joining, and others that would be great and comfortable joining someone else.
Oh,
So,
sure.
but
And
they
I
love,
think that's something we all have to learn because
yes,
it's fine because I always have believed you sign up with who you're supposed to sign up with. Even though you
yes,
may look over here and go, oh, I like how they do stuff, or I like them too. The way things are now, we can learn from everyone. But your
yes,
coach is the person who introduces you and gets you in the business and moving. You know what I
yes,
mean? Who knows who we're going to learn from, that kind of thing.
right.
Okay, cool. So then let's talk about that just a little bit. What did you say to them when you were thinking about asking them to be a coach? What did you say to them that was a very much a Natalie language? You know what I mean?
What did I say to them?
You can't just say you need to be a coach. You should have said, here's why it's good, or this is what I'm doing. You should do it too. How did that roll out? Because this is the question a lot of people
Well,
ask. This is what keeps them from asking because they don't know how or how to say it.
right. They would definitely ask, okay, what are you doing?
Yes.
Um, and then I would just tell them and show. It's something that you have to show, really. Or for me, because I'm a visual person, but show them and let them see the why and how they would
Okay.
benefit from it. So,
Mhm.
and that's where the working out in the mornings together came in as well, is let's try it and
Mhm.
see, I don't, that part, it was though, it depends on the person too.
Okay.
So,
Well, okay. Well, then maybe the better question is,
yeah.
what gave you that gumption or that guts to just ask or say it?
I think the confidence that's been gained with my transformation.
Right.
I've never experienced a journey like this that
Mhm.
I will not have an end date. But there's nothing better than feeling good in your own
Yes.
skin, and
Mhm.
so just being confident and I don't. It's hard
No,
to,
you're answering
you
it. You're
know.
totally answering it. I'm sorry. These are driving me crazy.
You're
No, you're
good.
totally answering it. One of the things I always thought of, and especially in the beginning, it's like, I want everyone to know what this feels like.
Yes.
Because everyone I talk to, I'm like, how are you? They're like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm like, let's just get that out of our vocabulary. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? But I'm not
Yes.
tired and I'm excited. I want for people to understand the freedom that comes with this. I want people to understand when we feel better, we do better.
Yes.
And especially for those of y'all that are Christians, I mean, it's like, we're supposed to be that light. And if you feel like poo all the time and you don't want to talk to anyone, it's like, I don't think it's going to be seen the same as if you're like, I'm willing. I don't care if you say yes or no, but I'm moving forward. And one of the things that you said, I think that I need to just repeat is that I'm doing this, whether you say yes or not.
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning, when I started really working the business, I thought of it like this. It sounds so silly, but I thought of it like as I'm on a slow moving train. Okay. And I'm hanging out on one of the box cars. I'm holding on with my left hand, but my right hand, I'm extending it. Okay. To all these people just standing along the tracks. And I'm like, the train's going, regardless of if they take my hand or not. But I'm like, hey, do you want to this? Hey, do you want to? What is, hey, do you want to? And like, I thought of it like that because if they said no, it's not like I was sitting there stuck with them and they're going to think I'm the weirdo for the rest of my life. No, they're going to watch me drive away. And then of course the Polar Express comes in my mind, which by the way, if you're a parent, you understand, he says no. And then he's like, well, wait a minute. And then he runs and gets on the train or whatever. But I just was like, we have to just be kind of like the messenger. We don't have to be the message. Mm-hmm. This is why I like it. This is what it's done for me. Take it or leave it. And there's something very attractive to other people about take it or leave it. Mm-hmm. And that's hard for some of us that are people pleasers. That's hard for some of us that are just, we're doers and we volunteer and we want everybody to be happy. But that's not what it's about. We can, first of all, never please other people, but regardless of whether you say yes or no, this is what this has done for me. And I'm going, whether you're with me or not. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it takes off that, what if they say no,
Yes. Yes.
It's like it frees you up.
Yes.
Okay. So that's awesome. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I have learned that people will watch for a little while.
Oh yeah.
Before they actually reach out. And that's been very eye-opening too. So.
Oh, for sure. Well, when you realize that, like I always put myself in that position, even though Beachbody kind of came to me like in a different form, that the things that got me connected, I watched those for a long time. You know what I mean? And I think what we do is we judge everyone else based on what we think they're doing. But let's hold up. First of all, we don't know their story, but if you'll remember, you probably watched a little while too. You know what I mean? Or thought about it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
So
that's awesome. So you've lost 20 plus pounds, 70, if we're talking to your son.
Yes.
You've done multiple programs. You're in the middle of 80-day obsession. You really took a very serious look at your nutrition.
Yes.
And I'm sure you're not perfect. Like I can't speak for you, but you probably still do. So that's something that of course we're going to do. But I think once we take that nutrition seriously, that's when all of our hard work through all those programs, through all that lifting, through all those other things, it's when we can start to see fruit of our efforts more, because, the truth is you can lose 50% more fat, and weight if you combine your nutrition and a workout. Matter of fact, you don't even have to work out as hard if the nutrition's there.
Yes.
And it's just baby steps. Okay. So then if you could give like a few tips or recommendations or anything to anyone listening that's like a version of you, what would you say to them? How would you encourage them, or what tips would you give them?
First, don't seek perfection. When we seek perfection, I would say you set yourself up for failure, because then you don't give yourself grace. I was a soda drinker and I found an alternate.
Okay.
Topo Chico. I love Topo. So find those alternatives. They are out there.
Yes.
And get your village. Grab a friend and bring them along with you, because this is what our group is called, Iron Sharpens Iron. And you truly do. And we'll text each other and say, I want to face plant in blah, blah, blah. And they're like, do you really want to, or do you just want to?
Right.
And they'll help. And just remember, you're not alone. And just give yourself grace and show up for yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup.
No.
And the energy you get from it, and from feeding yourself good, wholesome food that God created us to eat, It's amazing. I don't wake up in the middle of the night with my arm going numb anymore. That was an aha moment I just had at the beginning of the summer. I was like, I haven't been waking up with my arm going numb. It used to do that
That's crazy.
for 15 years.
Yeah.
So, and it's, I mean, grace and feed yourself good food.
Okay. And so then another question that might come up, and we'll talk for just a few more and then we'll go. But like when you thought of doing this, were you thinking, how do I do this with my husband and my 5 kids? Like, how am I going to make this happen? Because they're going to want to eat this and I'm going to eat this. How'd you figure that out?
Well, I used to be the queen of excuses. Even today, I could have had some good excuses, and get past those excuses and lead by example. When we lead by example for the husband and the kids, eventually they'll want to eat it too, and they'll see. My kids are just starting to say that now, that they see. And this has been, like you said at the beginning, of the last 8 months, and they're just now studying stuff. But get rid of the excuses. I mean, you can do it. And when you plan the work, you'll work the plan. But until then, you have to want it bad enough and realize the true benefits of it.
Well, and there's the simple truth is, yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
And if your kids gripe about it for a while, then fine. What are you doing? This is ultimately helping them. If you still give them junk, that's ultimately hurting them. If you truly love, real love is sacrifice. Jesus showed us that. Hello. But real love is sacrifice. And if they're mad for a while, fine. But like what I would always do, I just would fix what I'm fixing for dinner and they can eat it. And if they don't want to eat it, I'm not cooking anything else. You know what I mean? And that was kind of the rule. And slowly they just ate what I had. I mean, and it's never been that big of a deal because it was a non-negotiable. And when they started griping or saying something, I'm sorry, this is what we're having.
What we have, yes.
Well, and by the way, this just proves how much I love you, because this will ultimately make you run faster, make you be able to use your brain at school, make you be able to calm yourself down. There's so much more on that. I mean, like of course, they're over it at this point because it's been their whole life. But it is an excuse, and you're so right. And yes, we can. All right. So if just in leaving and just kind of letting us, kind of shut this call down, is there anything else you want to add or share? And anything that maybe even you do on social that you think, this is me leading by example, this is me helping, that other people, you could encourage other people to do?
Well, I definitely use social media as my platform. I love sharing on social media anyway. I always have, since our son was born 10 years ago, but especially in the last, I'd say 8 years, sharing and seeing the consistency of working out. I'll post this sweaty selfie or my group selfie. There'll be one where it's just me sometimes because I can't always get with my girls. I'll share that. I'll also share little snippets of certain moves that I do. And then I share what's very near and dear to my heart in scripture and God. And so that they see the whole, all of
because
it.
People join people they like and they trust.
Yes.
And no one can be just a one-trick pony. You can't just only be a teacher or only be fit. You're a mom and you're a wife and you have all these kids. I mean, seriously, 5 kids. I have 2, Natalie. I died. My mom had 5. And my mom is the most unorganized, whatever. Like, oh, I'm like, Mom, you raised 5 healthy kids. How? But thinking about that, but also people love to talk about fun stuff, but it's just you sharing you and your life. And like we said, you're doing this whether people come or not. But you have to understand, time and consistency will change everything. Not only how you feel, how you look, how people look at you, and those people that are willing to ask you more questions and possibly join you.
Yes. And when you're vulnerable, they're more apt to reach out and feel safe, so to speak.
And they feel that you guys are alike.
Yes.
I know that a lot of people like to follow these like little, fitness looking people. And sometimes that's totally who they connect with. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes down to someone that's going to hold you accountable, someone that you can truly share your ups and downs with in the days that you're having a hard time and stuff, it typically is someone you really truly connect with, like on a friend to friend, on a mom to mom, on a whatever to whatever level. And
Yes.
that only gets found out by someone else, by us sharing.
Sharing.
And there is a level of things we share. Don't get me started on that, but that it is very important. Okay,
Yeah.
so I thank you so much. So Natalie, we're gonna write up just a couple of things that are just in black and white that we'll share with people after this call, that just say, hey, here's what I did. Here's some of the, the systems I used, or here's what I learned about nutrition, little things, just, that will help people. And the biggest thing of all is that, yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. You're living proof. I'm living proof, regardless of circumstances. And
Yeah.
it's really hard to not reach through a phone and smack someone around when they tell me they can't because something happened to them. I'm like, oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? But we cannot allow those excuses to continue. All right. How about one last nugget of something, and then we'll shut this down.
Oh, one last nugget. Oh, goodness. I did write some little.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, I don't know.
It's all right. There's no timer.
I do. Be careful what, and this goes back to the social media and who you follow. And
Yes,
be careful what you allow in.
100%.
So
It's true. No, it will change. Please don't turn on the TV. Like I tell you, don't turn on the TV.
mm-mm.
Go get your workout. I'm like, go pray, go get your workout. Joseph, just read. If you need to read something, because that will change your spirit and it will change your attitude.
Yes.
We have to protect ourselves. You're so right. Well, Natalie, thank you so much for doing this call. I love how much you stepped outside of your comfort zone.
You have no idea.
But look what's happened since you have. God didn't almost drop my thing. But see, God doesn't use these perfect stories. He uses these underdogs. He uses people that, where we're weak, he is strong. It's just the fact, it's just how it works. Yes. And so when we're willing to put ourselves out there, so many good things come from it. And I just would so much, I would just so much rather it be like that than me just never do it because I'm so afraid of stuff.
Yes.
Step out and just give it a try. Thank you so much, Natalie. Thanks, guys, for being here.
Thank you.
Follow Natalie on social. She's going to give you great inspiration. She's on Facebook. She has a great Instagram account. We're going to send you guys some information that, just a little list of the things that she did so that you can kind of maybe like check them off or see if that's something that you would want to do. But she's walking living proof that we can do this. All right, Natalie. Thank you.
Bye. Thank
you.